bother you, not stop talking and not stop asking questions to you? Has he gotten to that point yet?
Yeah.
Constantly, he's like, hey man, turn around, man. What do you think Travis Hunter's most important element of his athletic ability is? Go ahead. You can comment it. You can say it out loud. I think it's his love for football, the energy, the way that he approaches it, the positivity. Pat McAfee often talks about being a punter. Hold on now. I know I just said punter and you just completely zoned out. But what he said about that is that being a glue guy and being someone who provides energy to a place where there's so much machismo and so much hard and so much, hey, I'm trying to work hard for my money. I'm literally decapitate the person across from me if they don't allow me to do so. It helps to have somebody who's a little more happy, a little more cheerful, a little bit feeling it. You know what I'm saying? At all times, and by all the reports from Jaguars teammates, Travis Hunter epitomizes that. But we knew that. You knew that because you're a Colorado fan. I'm assuming if you're watching this in bulk, and if you're not, you're a Travis Hunter fan. Because why else are you clicking on this video? Well, I gotta inform you that being able to do that, being able to enjoy some of the grinds of coming out in that hot, humid Jacksonville areola, right? And doing it big, and when the pads get on and things start hurting, and when aches start to ache, having somebody who's just out there dancing, as some people want to, you know what I'm saying? Some people want to put that in a negative light. It seems some people say it might be a problem that Travis Hunter's out there smiling all the time. He's feeling the motion all the time, but all I see is other people carrying in on the motion, feeling it, feeling good, feeling nice. And again, if you've never played sports, and I know a lot of people who watch have played sports, so what I'm telling you, you're already going to know, but it's so important to have an energy guy. And it's even more better. Oh yeah, I'm going with it. I don't care about grammar. It's even more better when you have somebody like Travis Hunter who is great at what he does, right? If you're going to be elite and bring the energy and have people feeling good and have people feeling, hey, not so serious. Huh? How about we get after the job and we do it in an infectious way? And it really seems like he's rubbing off on his teammates in a way that, like, hey, I want to play with that dude. That dude wants to play with me. And he's constantly, he said, hey man, turn around, man. Is he dancing too much? I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I didn't watch this full video. I don't know he's gonna be dancing for a full minute and a half. But that's hard to, it's hard to not smile at this. It's hard whenever you're, and hopefully the Jaguars don't lose to anybody except the Texans twice. Shout out to y'all. And if you have a loss or a tough loss or a tough win or some injuries, man, it probably feels nice practicing with someone like Travis Hunter, who's just going to come out there and just smile and dance and not act like the world is falling and the life is ending, dog. He's just a kid out there enjoying the game of football. And I think if you're a Jaguars fan, you got to be happy to have this type of energy radiating throughout your football program. And hey, not too bad at football either. I don't think he's that bad at football too, as we get some OTA clips sprinkled in here. There he is at the back of the end zone. The hands catcher is what Travis Hunter is. Let's see what Brian Thomas, breakout star from LSU, has to say about his new running mate in Travis Hunter.
Yeah, for sure. We compete in everything we do. We come out here each and every day, just coming out here striving to be the best.
You said before he was going to bother you, not stop talking and not stop asking questions to you. Has he gotten to that point yet?
Yeah. He been asking a lot of questions, but I mean, it's just him trying to be the best that he can be.
He said, yeah, all right.
Just like talking like through routes, talking through little things, plays, and why we run these certain plays versus these certain looks. So just like little things like that. I mean, he wants to be the best. We both want to be the best. So we just come out and compete each and every day, and whatever he needs help with, I'm gladly help him.
And then here's a report from Jeff Legman. He says, I'm 57 years old, been in the NFL game since I was 21 years old. I'm here to tell you, this is one of the greatest athletes I've ever laid my eyes on. So if you're one of the greatest people who have seen great athletes be around, and honestly, you know how Deion Sanders feels about Travis Hunter, one of the greatest athletes, period, feels about what he can do. It might be a rude awakening for some people. And the rude awakening, before we get into, Trevor Lawrence as well as Liam Cohen speaking on a few different things, we do have to address the elephant in the room. As much as I'm being positive, look, You can see it on Brian Thomas' face. He's annoying, dog. He's 20-something years old. He's dancing, doing a worm. He's doing TikTok dances. Like, for as much as it's good to have that energy, at the same time, some people are like, all right, dog. Like, this is not me. This is my vibration. But I will have to say, it is way better to be annoying in a positive way than to be annoying because you don't want to do your job. You don't want to show up. You don't want to do anything. Hey, he's a little annoying. He's a little bubbly because he gets to get paid millions of dollars to play football. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, but we can't be truthful. Like we can see that he's a definitely interesting type of guy. He definitely seems like little brother energy where he's just, you know what I'm saying, where he's just out there bopping and popping around. So that's interesting to see from Travis Hunter, and even more from Brian Thomas there. What does his quarterback, and we watched this clip, but I think it's even more important with these comments. What does he have to say? And then, of course, we're going to go Liam Cohen. After that, we're going to go ahead and check out a small excerpt from Travis Hunter on this interview. And then we've got some, actually, I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the video, we got some Cameron updates too. Not a lot, but to the best of our ability, we're going to check back in with him and see how things are going. The former Colorado Buffalo. But let's hear it from Trevor Lawrence on Travis Hunter.
Seen a ton of them just yet?
Yeah, got a lot of juice. Like he can run all day. A lot of energy. I love it. Good energy. Always dapping guys up. Just bringing juice every day. And like I said, high motor, can just go. It's like a kid, just runs around all day. He doesn't get tired, it seems like. So you can't have enough of that. And then as far as just talent, I mean, kind of speaks for itself. Ball skills, run after the catch. He's very explosive. Just didn't realize how explosive he was in and out of cuts. You know, he's impressive to watch, and we've gotten to connect a couple times. It's only going to keep getting better and better. You know, we've only worked together for a couple days now, so we got some time to really dial in on the details.
When it comes to heading into mandatory mini camp, just what do you want to see in terms of growth from Trevor, and just how much growth have you seen over the last 10 OTAs?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you look at maybe the first few days of OTAs and really even phase 2 that we were out here on the grass, I think his footwork has drastically improved. You know, I think just the rhythm of playing the position in every system is different, right? The drop of a quarterback is very similar to a dance. And so each song, right, has a different rhythm. Each play has a different rhythm. Each systems have different rhythms. And so continuing to develop that for him so that, you know, we talk about footwork so much because when the game is being played, we know it's lived in the gray, but we're trying to create black and white lines for footwork, for reads, for timing, because when the things start moving, oftentimes you have to revert back to your fundamentals, your footwork, your timing. And so I think he's taken a step in that area, as well as just the overall operation. Like, that's what I've really looked for him in this time, has been, okay, really focusing on his lower half and his footwork, and then also just running the show. Like, I'm not really judging, does he make every single throw right now? Is every single ball perfectly accurate right now? Is he operating the offense at a high level? Yes, he is right now.
You love to see that. And I hope I didn't misspoke. I might have said Travis Hunter he was going to talk about, but the reason why I did Trevor Lawrence and then a video about Trevor Lawrence and his development, sorry, that's kind of what I was trying to do. So I apologize if I didn't do that right. But, you know, some of the things that he was saying, first off, what Trevor Lawrence was saying when it comes to Travis Hunter, right, when I speak about some of those, you know, quote unquote, hey, he might be rubbing some people the wrong way. That's just natural, you know, little brother stuff, you know, being young and being in a new environment. But the fact that the consistency is that, hey, the energy is there, it's great there, and, you know, it's almost nonstop, I think is going to be great. And then I think it's even more important when you talk about Trevor Lawrence, who coming into this season is probably going to be the most critiqued that he has been throughout his collegiate football career, throughout his football career, period, right? Including his collegiate career, including high school, including everything. I think this is where people start to look at him, somebody who was known to be the greatest prospect since Andrew Luck, and then really start looking at, hey, where are the multiple playoff wins? Where's the AFC Championship appearance? Where are these things that we assume coming out of year 5, year 6 for Trevor Lawrence? Man, y'all making me feel old. I don't even know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope those years are wrong. But coming into these years, you know, people are really starting to look and expect some actual outcomes from Trevor Lawrence, from the previous Clemson man. But yeah, let's go ahead and stop or end off the listening part of this by hearing Travis Hunter speaking on the local news for Jacksonville
Just
Jags.
everything you do is going to have a reaction.
Nah, not really. Not everything I do, but sometimes it's like that.
What did you make of the plane video with Miss Sandy kind of going viral?
It's just me, just being me, doing what I do without even the cameras on. So I'm the same person with the cameras on, the same person with the cameras on.
You're 22, but like 10 to 12, 14, 16, they really like Travis Hunter.
Yeah, because I told you I'm a kids person. I give back to the kids. When I see kids like, going out there doing the extra work, the extra mile, I'm just a nice person, nice guy. I also gave them a football. They probably haven't seen that. I had a signed football in my hand the whole time. So just going over there, just making kids' day is something that I like to do, just seeing them excited because ain't nobody come back and make me that excited when I was younger.
So, and I think that's a good bow to put on the situation because as much as and we can all admit, hey, maybe he rubs you the wrong way. We all know people who, he's a little annoying. He can be a little bit much, but at the end of the day, his heart's in the right place. And I think even better with Travis Hunter, right? Not only is his heart in the right place, but the game backs it up. The game supports somebody who, I think he can dance a little bit, you know what I'm saying, when he feels like it because of the way that he executes things. And I really have to say that when speaking about, what Travis Hunter was, mostly critiqued about as a wide receiver coming into the league, that being his route running. And you see, even the timing here on these crossovers, and you see, the intricacies that he's seemingly trying to add to the game. And he already had pretty deep intricacies when it comes to the route running. But the fact that he's trying to add to that and expand upon that, I think has to be something that you can only take as a positive. You know what I mean? But continuing on. Obviously wrapping up with Travis Hunter and going into just the general OTAs for some of the guys out there in the Jags. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of a Meshington, little bit of mesh and get loose drill right there. Brian Thomas, we saw him do the same thing. Here is Brian Thomas catching a goal line fade. Nice. Now, I don't know what this question is. Would Travis Hunter complete this route with more steps than Brian Thomas? I don't know why that's that important for a goal line fade. Please, my football experts, y'all let me know. But in goal line fades, I mean, as long as you're being efficient with your steps, even if you take extra steps, even if you take some steps to stutter and slow it down, as you see, like let's take a look at how many steps Brian Thomas takes. Then boom, he takes one step, he stutters, right? Stutter. And this obviously, just like you're playing with goal line fades, you're playing basketball right now. So you're stutter. You're trying to cross him over, trying to break this DB down. Can I get him to flip his hips? Can I get him to bite on one of these head fakes, right? Boom. Really heavy on the inside there. And then with that, you're going to kind of open up and use all that power generated to continue to, if you did it right, the space that you created moving to the inside, you're going to utilize all that space at the back of the end zone, toe drag swag. Tony toe tap in the back of the end zone. I don't think that's a real question. I don't think people are asking how many steps. I think maybe the time. Can he get it done quicker? Possibly. Can he get it done with less steps? I don't think that he can do that in less steps than the 6'3", 6'4" Brian Thomas. So that is what that is. Now going on over yonder, what we're gonna check out is some of the only updates that we have from Mr. Mr. Cam, the Shark himself, who's going to have a very long-lasting legacy left at the world of Colorado football. This is what Robert Livingston had to say about Cam as he left the door. He said, "You guys have heard me talk about it in terms of leadership. Cam was one of one." And here he is getting some work here. Cam, I believe, undrafted free agent as well. Him and BJ Green. We don't have as much updates with BJ Green. Was that Cam getting the ball smacked out? I think that was, man. Cam, get your lick back, man. Cam, get your lick back. Don't let him just smack the ball out your hand like that, man. Really stiff on him. I don't care about the drill. I'm joking with you. But when you speak about the undrafted free agent in their path to doing things like that and being involved with drills is important, right? Being a good practice, being good at practicing, right? Some people have to learn to play the game. Some people have to learn to practice, right? I think that's an exclusive football thing. I don't know other sports people, but because football is a very, the object of the game is often to suplex another man to the ground. When you practice with your teammates, it's called learning to practice. You have to do it in a different way. You can't just go full throttle all the time, right? And then another aspect of that is, can you be a good drill, right? Are you going to give me enough resistance to don't just be a squib out there, right? Don't just be doing nothing. But you see Cam kind of give a little, you know what I'm saying, and then keep it going, right? You just got to give it a little bit of motion to allow it to happen. But yeah, that is 32, and that is 32 there. So Cam, that's the only sighting that I think we've seen from him. And these have been some smaller things from BJ Green. Obviously, this was during rookie OTA, so rookie mini camp. These were some of the small snippets that we saw. At going through my searches, I haven't been able to see anything else from BJ Green, nothing else particularly from Cam. So both BJ Green and Cam have a long path to making to the NFL. Obviously, we've been documenting Shiloh Sanders with the Buccaneers, and sadly, Will Shepard's journey to the NFL. So obviously, being able to show up here and show out to the best of their abilities is going to be important. So I really hope that these guys can excel. I hope these guys can get the opportunity that's necessarily needed. Obviously, their opportunities in the NFL is not as guaranteed as somebody like Travis Hunter. So interesting to see there. Putting a bow on everything. Like I said, man, I think this is interesting will be an understatement, right? I think there's so many great storylines in the National Football League. I think these rookies, this particular crop of rookies, were so historic in college football, right? Ashton Genty, Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, you know what I'm saying, Dylan Sampson, Quinshon Judkins. Like, these are players who have done historic things. They have accolades, and they're going to be this group of rookies going into this. They're going to be looked at for the annals and the histories and the forever of college football. Now, with that being said, I think that it implies or adds a level of storyline, adds a level of relevancy to this entire class that I don't think a lot of classes that we've seen in a long time. Maybe 2020. I think maybe 2021, right? But there haven't been as many classes I can remember that has just steeped in not just college football history, and the projections are insane. So taking all that and putting that as a background and a backstep of what this means to be this era of rookies, right? Speaking on Travis Hunter solely, clearly he is going to be someone looked at as just a marvel of a player, and who knows what his NFL career looks like. He can. High school, he's looked at as is an insane anomaly. College, the whole time looked at as an insane anomaly. You win the Heisman, you play two positions, and now in the NFL, you're going to attempt to be an anomaly again. Try to play two positions at a high level, which we haven't really seen in over a decade. And the last time we saw that was two defensive positions, right? We talk about Charles Woodson playing safety and cornerback. That you talk about a high level. You talk about Khalil Mack that year that he was all pro in two positions, both outside linebacker and defensive end, right? Those are the closest high level, elite level play at two positions that we've seen at the National Football League. For him to do it at both sides of the field, for him to learn both those things, learn the playbook, be locked in, and then at the same time be so infectious with his energy that it's almost annoying, right? You're like, how you do all these things, have all this bandwidth, and still somehow find a way to dance a little too much, be excited too much, is beyond me. But I think what we're witnessing or gonna witness is a historic class, a historic player. And if you're a Jaguars fan, I think a very fun time in that wide receiver and defensive back room as y'all look to find some relevancy, because the Texans are going to smack you in the mouth every time we can, all right? We're not going to let that teal do nothing. I don't care. I'm a Travis Hunter fan. I don't care. I like Brian Thomas. I don't care, all right? This is the Texans situation here. You can win every single game, every single one of them, as long as C.J. Stroud ain't the quarterback for them beautiful Texans. But hey, man, really appreciate y'all watching this. Appreciate all my Jaguars fans. Obviously, good jokes, good fun. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it. Comment down below because we're getting closer. What do you think? Trevor. Gosh. What do you think Travis Hunter is going to play more of opening up? Obviously, he's been talked about as being a wide receiver first, then playing DB. I think that's wrong. Yeah. Oh, my gosh, a hairball got me. Y'all let me know how you feel below in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes, sizes, and orientations. Not Oreos. I said Oreos one time, but you get me. But keep being great because you know you're great. We'll see you next time.